taken from behind there. Let's check how this is going on here. Make sure I'm holding it in a way that hopefully everyone can read it, and I apologize about the glare. Not sure if that belongs in here, but it's going in here. Black feathers with that one red one, that maroon one that kind of tagged along when I opened the envelope. Sorry for the shake. This is on a very cheap lamp. This one has a bunch of writing on it. This is some word. Maybe a list. Oh. So we have a shopping list here. That will probably show off at the end. Because let's stay on a roll with what we're doing. My ADHD will get me sidetracked, and I'm kind of enjoying just looking at this stuff. But the list is very helpful. I always like lists. If you guys have some cool stuff, why don't you put a list together yourselves? Maybe tell a little story about where the special stuff came from and why you have it and why you thought it was special. And maybe that might help someone else understand why they might think it's special. This looks like an assortment of a bunch of different little things. Odd tail feathers. Yeah, that they are. That they are. So let's keep going. So like I was saying, if you have this list, you're able to help your children and your friends and the ones cleaning your stuff out to better understand what the heck they got, because you don't want this stuff to go to the dump. You tried really hard to find a use for it in your life, and I think that's kind of what drives me with a lot of this stuff, is when I come across really cool things, knowing that somebody back in the late 1930s, early 1940s had put this stuff all together and used a lot of it, but also, now that they're gone, left a big old tackle box, a book with all sorts of fly making instructions, and these 4 bins, these metal tins, biscuit tins, and imagine if the maintenance guys just chuck this in the trash when they're cleaning things out. I mean, what in tarnation? I'm not a big fan of taxidermy or any of that kind of stuff, you know, but there is history here, and this was something that, you know, was a big part of someone's life. This amount of stuff wasn't just picked up last Thursday and thrown in bins. This was a man's life. How many fish did he catch? How many people did he feed with the fish that he caught? Alright, I'm screwing up my order again. So this is going in front of the Y2K shopping list. So let's see what these things are. I'm trying to look on the screen to see if it's visible. I'm hoping it is. Might try to add some music to this at some point. I was trying to read it myself, but let me get it up here on screen and hopefully you guys can make this out. That's pretty colors. I thought that possibly an artist would enjoy these things, as they could take the feathers and lay them out in a shadow box type arrangement or something, some artistic way of displaying all of these absolute amazing colors. And this is a pretty good, I would have to say, going back to the favorites, this one as a whole I think is pretty cool. Pretty cool. But I've also seen some of the stuff in the other 3 bins, and those are absolutely amazing. I don't know if we're going to make a video on those ones, but we'll see how this one goes. If there's a good response to this one, maybe we'll do that. I'm not trying to do anything more than just document the history of this stuff. This is not some kind of fly fishing tutorial or anything like that. This is more of a preservation of lost treasures that are wandering the earth after the owner had passed. Alright, I've done this in the past when I've picked ones that I think are my favorite too early in the race. Not being a gambling man, but I don't know.